Aloha and welcome back to another Maestro's Vibe. My name is Juan Jefe Espinal, and I'm honored to be back here with y'all again for a brand new season. First, today we're going to be getting into a quick check-in circle and wrapping up with a little talk story of all our best successes so far.
This is Karina Hernandez, welcoming you all back again to another season. Thank you for being here.
And this is Kev, on the ones and twos, and just super grateful for everyone who's joining us on this new season, on this new journey. And Juan, what you got cooking up for us today, friend?
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Big mahalo to all our brand new listeners joining us ever since that amazing experience we had on Hawaii Public Radio. Big mahalo to our longtime listeners who have been here joining us since the first episode we recorded. This has just been a great experience all the way up to this point, and we are looking forward to moving forward. And before we move forward, we always like to kind of take a second and check in because that's important in the classroom and in life.
Yeah.
So,
check-in question, Juan.
Okay. The question is, what are you hopeful for?
Now, I just love to jump in right away. I have so many things to be grateful for. When I think about our profession, though, what I'm hopeful for is continuing to work with the Government Relations Committee for HSTA and moving that forward, because right now, the climate with everything that's happening with our profession, with the things that are coming down the pipeline of what the governor has intended to do, would decimate our profession. And I think that it is going to be an effort from all fronts to really help our profession with everything that's being talked about with furloughs and things of that nature. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to be a part of a HUI, to be a part of a team that is looking for solutions, and we continue to move forward and make sure that the teaching profession is valued as one that it should be.
You mentioned that there are some things that people can do. What are those things?
Well, I think whenever there's testimony that needs to be submitted to the Board of Education, that's one thing that everyone can do. And would it help a lot? I think that when we have that type of involvement, people see and our board members see that. And that's important for that narrative to be written.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wrote some pretty intense testimonies at the last two board meetings. And, I think it's really important to get your emotions out there, and it's a good place for sure. It can be cathartic at times.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys hopeful for?
I am hopeful for the new season because we're implementing something that I've been really wanting to bring to my students, and that is to talk about the different careers that are out there. So I'm excited for some of my friends to hop on here to share about their careers in the near future. So that's one. And the other thing is obviously the school year. I'm always excited to read and meet new students. And last but not least, the Leo Club. I'm a Leo Club advisor, and the Leos are overseen by the Lions, specifically the Lions of Kona here in West Hawaii. And it's just amazing to still do community work, even though we are in these tough times. The students are still, having forums, meeting during lunch virtually. And it's just, I'm so hopeful for it. I'm so hopeful for the different collaboration that will be happening, and just students finding a way to give back to their community, even though we can't really all be together in the same place.
Something that I gather from that is like their yearn for connection. And what do you think is part of that culture that has the kids wanting to meet up even during like lunch breaks, even though we're not in the same physical space?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think it's all of them knowing that coming together, serving their community, uh, it's a way to form their leadership, and that is what the Leo Club is all about. And students hear it from their own friends. This past Friday, we had a meeting to welcome or to answer questions for new members. And one of the questions was, what brought you here? What led you to want to be a Leo? And so many kids said, oh, well, my friend told me about this. And even the current members, the current board members are like, yeah, when I was a freshman, my friend told me about it. And it's a lot of word of mouth. Like, you are going to be with different people from all different walks of life, because the students are so diverse and they come together and learn from one another. And I just love that as high schoolers, they already see the value in it. So I think it's that connection and building their own leadership by seeing themselves in other students is what brings them in.
Sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm. And excellence, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Juan? What are you hopeful for?
I helped craft this question, and as it came around to me, I've had a very difficult time actually answering it. Not much has left me very hopeful lately. I've been having a difficult time perceiving time and moving forward and wrestling with the way things are and the way things should be. Though I will say, I look forward every single week to my order from the Keoho Farmers Market. They, ever since this whole lockdown started, they've been providing curbside pickup of local fruits and vegetables every week. And I look forward to it specifically for one product, which is bagels from Yo Bagels. They're everything bagel. As someone from New York, tastes with that delicious, crunchy exterior that as you cut into it, a small pillow of air comes out and you put some fresh cream cheese on that bad boy. And it is just like being in New York, in Hawaii. And that is a darn good bagel. And I actually hesitate to say it on the microphone because sometimes they sell out. But I do look forward to it every week. I look forward to that bagel every week. And it's those little things that kind of keep me moving forward. It's that moment of excellence. You know what I mean? I guess it's that sense of belonging, knowing that someone is really crafting something that they care about for you. And in a sense, it's art. In a sense, it's that those things that matter to us, you know?
Yeah, and I think that when I think about a sense of excellence, one of the outcomes is that you are able to define success in a meaningful way, and I think that success that you're finding in those little things, in that excellence of a bagel, is something that is important to hold on to. And as we move into our main discussion here, we are looking at our successes. What are you all proud about that's happened here recently? What are some successes that you all would like to share with our audience today?
Well, I always see the glass half full, even if like things are going bad. I personally always like to look at the positives. Now I know that might rub some people the wrong way because they're like, "You're not being a realist. You're too optimistic." Yeah, well, we need people like that. So I just want to put that out there to preface because yes, I do always look at things, you know, um, in a good light. I've been struggling with Wi-Fi at my school. I think it's because there's a lot of construction happening next to where I'm at. But one of the successes is the students being really patient and me myself muting myself when I'm having class and having them read. So I love hearing my students read. That's a success, even though we are, uh, you know, having class virtually. I'm getting to know the students. I'm hearing their voices. I'm hearing their answers. We're using Class Dojo. Uh, I just I just love where we're at because we finished our first unit where I got to learn about their identity, and they have taught me so much about embedding uh, more pronouns instead of like he, she, to also use they, them, right? And it's just it's so amazing, and one of the greatest things right now is getting to know my students, diving into literature, and really looking at what's happening in our society with different lenses that we're practicing, like logos, pathos, and ethos, all of these things. And it's just, it's going good. 10th grade ELA is going good. Thank you for letting me share.
That's awesome, and
Thanks.
I hear a big sense of community when I listen to you talk about your successes in the classroom. What about you, Juan? How's it going on your end?
Well, my greatest success is probably also related to food, which is the thing that leaves me hopeful. And it is a program that I was so thankful to produce in house here, literally in my house with my partner, um, Eola Pono and Mr. E, a weekly cooking show produced for the Keiki of West Hawaii. And there was so many layers of it that made it just a powerful and impactful experience for me as an educator, because I was able to produce something that I realized would matter to kids directly. Like I would be showing it every single week, like about a 10-minute snippet of how to cook with every week to the kids. It was a PDF I produced with like ELA content, some Spanish language content in there, you know what I mean? And it was all embedded with the recipes as well. And it was then La'iopua 2020, which works out here in Hawaii, they supported it by giving the kids actually a weekly pickup of the produce that was highlighted every week. And it would usually be like a locally sourced produce. And it was just, and then every week the kids would show up by choice, watch this video with their families and me, and then cook. And it was so cool. They cared. Like they came in, like these kids would come in ready in the morning with a big knife. And it's like so real, you know, you're like, whoa, this is so real right now. I gotta rein this in. This is some serious energy. And you realize like kids want to learn, families want to be engaged if it matters, and if it really makes sense to them, if you could break it down to them, if you can be there for them to explain it to them, even through all these times. Like I'm with you, Karina, like even as like hopeless as I sound and as Eeyore as I can be, stinky Mr. E here and there, like I do believe in the potential to reach people through a screen, because there's people who reached me through a screen. Mr. Rogers reach me through a screen. Big Bird reach me through a screen. And that's real, you know? They reach my family. Like that's the kind of stuff that helped me as a child to persist and move forward. And I believe in the power of that. I believe in the power of each of us. That's why we're educators, because we are martyrs for this kind of thing, you know? We're artists. We care. And once we can show success and give kids what they really are looking for, it could be awesome. And the kitchen matters, and food matters, and the families matter. And it was a really cool experience, and I hope to keep bringing more opportunities like that to kids, because it was just really cool, and it really mattered in a very particular moment. But it came with a lot of struggles, though. You know, it was a lot of struggles, and being able to scale something out like that is complex. You know, but sometimes you just got to count your blessings for the successes that you have when you have them, and I do, for sure. Yeah. Thanks for asking, Kev. What about you? Yeah, thanks for the sparkles. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I love tuning into those. I remember with the summer, you'd be dropping them, and for all of our listeners out there, if you want to tune in, go to our maestrosvibe.com, and then on the top tab, click other art from co-host, and you'll see it right there, the YouTube channel. Definitely peep it out, especially if you have kids at home right now. Really, really good, engaging content for kids. As far as my success, I think that when I think about this year, my biggest success is creating an environment in my classroom in an inclusion setting with my co-teacher that is truly collaborative. Like she and I are regarded as teachers by all of our students, our general education students and our students with IEPs. You know, they look at both of us as teachers because we've set that intentionality with the way that we teach, with the way that we deliver instruction. You know, we are like 50-50. And that to me has been such a blessing because in an inclusion classroom, there's just so much differentiation that has to occur for it to be truly successful. And with two competent individuals in there that truly care about the work, it can happen, and it can happen in an incredible way. So I'm just super thankful for her. I want to give her a big shout out. Her name is Miss Yokoyama. It's her first year teaching, and she's come out of the gates just firing, man. And it's been really cool to see. It's been motivating to me as being my 9th year in the classroom. And with that, we have been able to do work that really matters. We've been able to do ABAR work, so anti-bias, anti-racist work in the classroom. We've been exploring our identities together. We have been looking at different stereotypes and breaking it down with a teaching tolerance lesson plan that I'll definitely put out with as a resource with this episode, so you folks can check it out. Looking at the Sesame Street Color of Me song and talking about different shades of color. That was a really cool experience that we had together this year. And then finally, letting the kids just explore their identity and sharing about who they are. And then continuing that work. We call that segment, we do it every morning. It's part of our morning social emotional learning block, and we call it Embracing Diversity. So I want everybody out there, put up 2 fingers. All right, come on. Come on, Juanito. Come on. Come on, Karina, put up 2 fingers. Wiggle the first finger. Embracing means accepting.
Am I supposed to repeat that?
You can just hold it in your head.
Okay.
Okay. Wiggle the second finger. Embracing means celebrating. What does accepting mean? Or I'm sorry, what does embracing mean? Accepting and celebrating. And that's what we're here to do. So every morning we start off by embracing diversity. We just, we have 2 fingers going up. So yeah, just trying to engage kids in different way, but also meaningful work, meaningful, meaningful stuff that really matters to who these kids are, right? I mean, I just think that it's so important for them to have that opportunity to explore their identity with their peers and think about how those identities are in their community in regards to like stereotypes and just moving forward as better people because we're more aware.
Sorry, I can't get these out of my head now.
Embracing
I just want to do this.
Accepting and celebrating. And we always do embracing diversity every morning.
That's what's up.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the little things, man. The things that engage people through that screen and pull you through, And for those of y'all who joined us here on the screen, big mahalo. This is actually our first podcast that's going to be available live, kind of, on YouTube, thankful through Zoom. And a big mahalo to Teach for America Hawaii for providing that for us this whole season. So you can tune in live and actually check us out and see how we embrace.
Yeah, super excited. I just want to say thanks again, everybody who's out there doing this important work. To all of our stakeholders, no matter what you do in our community, just know that your voice matters in our schools, and it's so important to get involved. So if you haven't, reach out to your local schools and see what kind of work you can get into, joining the PTSA. There's different ways of getting involved. So I just want to put that out there in the world. And Karina, any last things for our listeners out there before we say a hui ho?
Ooh, I have a couple of things. Number one, shout outs to your co-teacher. Oh my gosh, they work every Sunday. They work every Sunday, and shout outs to them. They also inspire me to get some work done while they're working. So shout outs to them. I always see them coming up with amazing strategies, activities, and it's like, oh, that inspires me to do this, So shout outs to them, and shout outs to you, Juan, for your YouTube video. You actually influenced me to get on YouTube as well. So I have a Ms. Hernandez YouTube where I'm also keeping in touch with my sisters who are in LA, who are like, just create a YouTube and we can keep in touch that way. So there's that. And one last thing. So I have 3 things. When you were talking about the foods and the videos that you've done, Juan, and they're amazing because I have watched them. It reminded me of when I was in high school and YouTube was like starting out. And I remember wanting to make fried rice. Like I just started craving fried rice and I was a teenager and I didn't have the means to go drive or like get to the Chinese store. Yeah. So I looked it up on YouTube, how to make fried rice. And boom, I made my first pot of fried rice when I was like a sophomore. And it was thanks to YouTube. And so on that note, follow Mr. E on his YouTube channel. Subscribe. Also, Ms. Hernandez. And last but not least, Kev will probably be dropping some music soon.
Yeah, so follow me also on my SoundCloud, and all of these arts that we just mentioned from Mr. E, Miss Hernandez, Kev here, they're on our website. So once again, go to maestrosvibe.com, look at the tab. You can check out our podcast. You can also check out other art where you'll find our YouTube channels and my music. So with that, y'all have a blessed week, one more week, and then it's fall break. Enjoy that time with your school communities, and we'll see you back here next Sunday. Peace.
That's right. Rate us, review us, leave us 5 stars. If not, we might be inclined to think you don't respect education. This has been another Maestro's Vibe.